Okay, we're going to have a look for a trade opportunity with Bitcoin, and I'll give you my trade plan for this. But before I do, just check out these signals. I mean, which one of these would you not want? These are coming from our indicators, even here. Yeah, sometimes it might be a little bit short-lived, but at least you're going to get something out of it. These are nice. It's free to trial for 7 days, and it's only $29.95. Shut me lunch once a month after that, and you got full access to everything. Well, let's get into the video. I'm going to delete that, remove, we'll close down indicators, and we'll do a trading view thing. We'll look for an opportunity, see how we can get involved with this. So Bitcoin, first thing I always do is go out to the daily, and I want to get a bit of an idea of how things are stacking up. So what we have here at the moment is, well, I mean, a bit of a break here. And I mean, see these pin bars under here? That was definitely being defended. Buyers stepping in really aggressively all through here, holding it up, and then no, it's rallied and now pulling back. So I mean, I'm bullish. Let's go to the 4 hour, and I'll be just watching this trend. So I mean, you can just grab a trend line. I don't know, throw it through here. Well, okay, where do you want to go with that? So you had this trend, then you've got, well, I mean, it gets a bit ridiculous when you start throwing these things around everywhere, but you get the picture. Like a couple of touches here, it breaks, it's broken structure. And the other way to do it is just look at it from price action, and you can see here clearly you've got, this is a change of character, a shift in the trend, and this one here is a complete change, break of market structure. So market structure, that was bearish, and the structure, right? So now we've got this bullish shift. So my bias is bullish. How to get involved? Yeah, we've got a pin bar under here holding that up. I just go down to the lower time frame, and here's the thing. Look, this will trend for however long it trends. You've got that. Then it trends up, and I'm always just watching. In a downtrend, lower lows, lower highs. It's so simple. It's a very, I've got a really simple strategy, and all it is on the daily time frame. If it's broken structure, come down to the 4 hour and have a look. Do you see higher highs, higher lows? In this case, you do. So then come down to the lower time frame, and it's trending, and at some stage it'll turn around on you, and you might get taken out, and that's part of the thing, right? But while this is doing that, I'm looking for, actually, this might be a bit of a trap. So I'm always looking for this. I'll show you higher highs and higher lows. See this? In fact, I'll grab this is important, right? So you got, well, yeah, lower, blah blah blah, higher high, a higher high here, another one. Just copy that. Hang on. Copy and paste. Right? But just watch out, because you've actually got a lower high here. And that's always a little bit of a concern. I like to see consecutive price action movements. So I want to see a higher high pullback, higher low, then I'll buy. Higher high, higher low, I'll buy. Higher high, higher low, buy. Again. Well, I mean, at some stage it's gonna do that. There's a lower high there. Okay, so that's a little bit dodgy, but then that high gets taken out, and then your entry will be on the next, on that breakout right there. That was short-lived, but that's the idea. But if you see a lower high, just be careful, because well, here especially, okay, that's a bit of a warning. Okay, so we've got at the moment, see here, for example, look. Lower highs, lower lows, but then you get this double bottom, and it's just telling you that the momentum's starting to slow down a little bit. See here, look, higher high, blah blah blah, and then you get a lower high and a lower low here. That's the beginning of the shift. So if you just grab that trend thing, right, parallel, there it is, there, breaker, there's your shift there, structural shift, break of structure, and off it goes. So here, now we've got this lower high. So I'm a little bit cautious. I would need to see, okay, this is what I need to see here. This needs to break structure like it did here. And this break of structure, I want to see that it actually hangs in there above. So I want it to give me a higher low. You got to have a bit of a plan, okay? I want this to give me a higher low, HL. All right, so let's just copy that. Well, HL in relation to what? Back down in here, I suppose. Anyway, it's still trending. Yeah, that's a little bit tricky because of these. It's always a bit tricky, guys. But I want this pullback to hold above this previous low. I guess that's what I'm getting at. There it is. If that's the case, and we see this start to break structure, I'll get long. But you got to be, I mean, if it's midnight or it's 3 a.m. and I'm asleep, that's not going to happen, right? But yeah, you could plan your trade. You could set up an alert and just look for, if you're keen, set the alert and let it wake you up if you want. I need my sleep, so I'll refrain from doing that. But so this is all I'm looking for, basically, is for this to give me a break of structure. Now, it might happen here, who knows, but, it could be a little higher, it could be a little lower, but I want it to hold above this previous low. And look, even preferably, it's not a deep pullback. Like a shallow pullback tells you, I'll show you what I'm talking about, guys. Look, a shallow pullback basically is letting you know that there's a lot of momentum behind it. So if you grab the Fibonacci and you pull the Fibonacci from a low to high, I really don't want to see it pull down under the 61.8. So if it's a shallow pullback above the 50 and it starts to break structure, the momentum's really strong and it's there. If the further this pulls back, then you want to be questioning whether the momentum's really there or not. And I mean, it could just be big money pulling it back to run stops. That's one thing. Then the other thing could be, it's losing momentum and it's going to turn around, right? So, use that Fibonacci, and if it's a tight pullback and it starts to break structure, you can go for it. See, that's a little bit deep. So, kind of gets a little bit scary when it pulls right back like that, because you just don't know whether that's gonna hold up. What do we got? That pulled back in. Oh no, that's exactly the 61.8. See how it held around the 61.8? That's an ideal. This is my sweet spot right there. But if it pulls back down into here, then we don't know then if it's going to turn around, right? Hope you understand what I'm saying here. So this is mandatory. It's got to be, I really want it to be up in here. I don't want it to drop under the 61.8, to be honest. If it does, I don't know. I mean, it could break structure here. It's got to hold above that low, this previous low. So yeah, the problem is you got this lower high. So just be careful if you see that dropping down in here. All right. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, guys, my note would be something like, well, this is the same thing every time. It's got to hold here. Note buy. Retest of the range. Well, retest of the 61.8 Fibo. And yeah, retest of the 61.8 Fib. That's what I want to see. Well, it's down there now, right? So I want it to hold around here and start to push up. Anyway, look, I'd love it if you comment. Let me know what you think. If it pushes further south, I'll let it go. If this holds up here and it starts to turn around, okay, I'll go for it. Yep, it's a dangerous game sometimes. All right, guys, with that, have a great day. Don't forget to comment. Let me know what you think, and see you in the next one.